I'm so sorry, Ben. I will have a word with our delivery driver. I will send him on his driver awareness course for the 15th time.
That's good.
I have to tell you though, he's completely uninsured. So I'm afraid your written off car and all the gear that was in the back of it is just done. But I can give you this £1,000 gift voucher to come into Andertons, hopefully to replace your gear and get you to your gig in half an hour's time.
I was going to say, I'm on my way and I'm going to be playing electric guitar and acoustic guitar on this gig.
Well, welcome back to Andertons. Yes, this is Ben Smith here.
Hello.
Putting together a slightly unusual rig here for under £1,000 for his imaginary gig in half an hour's time.
That's right.
Now, you are I was going to say multi-instrumentalist, but what I really mean is that you play electric guitar and acoustic guitar often at the same gig, right?
I do, yeah, quite often I play electric guitar, acoustic guitar, maybe a bit of pedal steel, maybe even a bit of banjo on the same gig. So
did they all get smashed in the back of the car?
They all got smashed.
Damn.
Well, actually, no, it wasn't a gig. My pedal steel and banjo are at home, so it's fine.
Okay, so for your gig, now it's a little bit different to the other guests that we've had on that have done the whole largely electric guitar focused kind of rig for under £1,000. Your challenge was to find one amp that would do both electric guitar and acoustic guitar, and then an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar and bring the whole thing in for under £1,000.
Yeah.
And we've got 4 guitars in the room, 2 acoustics, 2 electrics that you've narrowed it down to.
Yeah.
We might as well start with the amplifier.
I was going to say, it was the obvious choice, really.
Yeah, it's the least expensive of the 4 things that you've bought.
Yep.
5 things, sorry, that we've got here. So it's very, very affordable. This is the Boss Katana 50. I have to say, for the eagle-eyed amongst you that will see, this is actually the Boss Katana 50 EX, just because we didn't have a regular 50 at the time. But trust me, we are not using any of the EX features. We are just using the bit of it that's identical to a normal Katana 50. So this would be our sort of £230 kind of guitar amplifier. Tell me why you chose it.
Well, because on the mode knob, it's got an acoustic setting. So that takes care of the acoustic kind of amp side of it. I mean, generally with acoustic stuff, I'll either DI or go through an amp and then take the line out of the amp off to the PA system. So on this gig, I'm using this as a little personal monitor. So having the acoustic input is really good and the reverbs on it are nice. And
it's got a line output as well, so your sound man can have the line.
Exactly.
And it's got 2 programmable settings.
Yes.
So of course, which we've set one up for your acoustic guitar, one up for your electric guitar, so you don't even have to remember where anything goes. You just literally recall the sound you want.
Yeah, exactly. And it's super easy because you just press and hold the button once you've got the sounds. And then, it just seemed like a very practical choice.
Now, we'll plug this in a second and see how it works. I don't think I've ever actually heard one of these in its acoustic guitar mode. If I'm honest with you, I couldn't even remember. Is that a mode that makes an electric guitar sound like an acoustic, or is it designed for acoustic guitar? But it is. I am reliably informed it's designed for acoustic guitar on that mode,
which makes sense because acoustic amps, solid state, clean. So can do that. So
we'll do the electric guitar second. Would it be fair to say that you're predominantly an acoustic guitar player?
It's a pretty even split, actually, on my kind of gigging and recording stuff. Yeah, so it's.
So why then have you allocated the lion's share of your budget to acoustic and opted to sort of try and find a much more affordable electric?
Because I think you need to spend a bit more money on an acoustic to get a better instrument. But with electrics, I've got a bit of a thing for kind of slightly funky, more affordable electrics anyway.
Well, that's good.
And, you could, like with a Telecaster, everything's adjustable. Whereas with a cheap acoustic, if it comes and it's not set up in a way that you would like, it can be harder to, especially half an hour before a gig, make it sound and play nicely.
Well, I'm going to give you that.
All right.
We'll plug in your first acoustic guitar. It doesn't matter which one you go with first. You've got 2 quite different ones there, but we'll plug in and you can have a bit of a play. I'm intrigued to hear it, and then we can talk about why you chose those 2.
Absolutely,
so here we go.
nice.
I mean, that sounds great, which sort of begs the question of like, why do acoustic guitar amps exist when like an electric guitar amplifier in an acoustic mode is? I mean, it sounded fine to me, but I suppose that real high fidelity top end that perhaps you'd get out of an acoustic guitar amplifier, you're never going to get out of an amp with just a 12-inch driver, are you?
I suppose, but I mean, it sounds great in the room. Like, certainly.
No one in the audience is going to get up and walk out because it didn't sound like an acoustic guitar.
No, they're not going to
are
complain
they?
about the lack of tweeters in your cab. Like,
and tell us a little bit about that guitar, and then we'll dive on over to the other one. What was it drew you to that?
This is the, and which one is this? The MPA 66E SHB, which
100% competing with Ibanez for most ridiculously long model name.
I love parlour guitars. We did a video on this one towards the end of last year in our kind of parlour shootout, and this was one of my favourites there. It's really nice. It's all solid mahogany construction.
It's really pretty.
It's
I like
really
the burst on it.
I mean, I like the burst. It's a bit sparkly for me. I prefer my guitars a little bit more down home, but it sounds great. It plays nicely. It's got a nice kind of V-shaped neck, and it's small. And I've got to say, I'm impressed with the pickup. Is it an
aftermarket? Who's the makes the pickup?
It's an LR Baggs Stage Pro Element.
Okay, so it is a LR Baggs.
Yeah. So, and it's got bass, middle, and treble, phase switch, a tuner, the notch filter, which is really useful on gigs. And it's a nice system, yeah. I mean, it sounds good, plays nicely.
Just normal strumming, maybe?
Yeah.
Sorry, I am thinking to myself, of course, that whilst the speaker inside the cabinet may not necessarily do all that high fidelity stuff, could we just hear a bit of the DI'd sound? Because if your intention is just a DI to front of house, which of course would be normal PA speakers, and this is just a proper acoustic guitar preamp, that should be quite a different sound. Right, well look, again, just so you guys know, Ben allocated about £500 of his £1,000 budget to buying the acoustic guitar. So that's the lion's share of the money. So let's listen to your other choice. Let's just put this on mute.
Have you got that muted? Lovely. So this one is like size-wise the opposite end of the scale.
Yeah, like twice the size. What are you doing, man?
But again, this is one, I think it was last year, I did a video on these with Pete. And the thing that I liked about this was the pickup system on it. It was really good. And I remember it like sticks in the memory for being a great pickup system. So it is the cedar-topped Ibanez percussive model, the PA 230E NSL.
What's wrong with just hummingbird? I mean,
Deborah or something like that.
Different sound.
This one's got two pickups, right? So it's got this magnetic pickup at the bottom of the neck here, but it's also got a contact pickup on the top, which is so.
Do you do that kind of thing? You're not really tippy-tappy man, are
not
you?
at all. But having a transducer that's not an undersaddle one on the top makes a huge difference to the amplified sound to me. It makes it sound a lot more natural, which is what I went for this. So it sounds like this. I'll start with some strumming this time. It's a different sound, isn't it?
It's a different sound. I don't want to... You would expect that acoustically to have much more bass end.
Yeah.
Not necessarily more treble, although I suspect it's that structure of the sort of spruce top with the mahogany back and sides is a naturally kind of trebly.
Well, that's all mahogany. This one. This is a cedar top on here. This one. So,
okay. Yeah. But yes, but you would still, even then, you'd still expect that to probably be brighter than an all mahogany guitar.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's really odd. I almost find that what this combo enjoys most is that slightly more mid-rangey, less bassy sound that the smaller guitar is doing. then I wouldn't say it doesn't sound like it's coping with the big sound from the Ibanez, but it doesn't sound as good to me.
I agree with you, actually, and I'm surprised because I thought, because of the pickup system on here, it would be the clear winner. But actually, through here,
perhaps that pickup system on a smaller body guitar might be a...
I mean, this pickup on this guitar would be amazing. But to be honest, I'm really impressed with the pickup on here. I don't think when we did the parlour shootout, we plugged it in.
Really?
I think, well, we might have done, but I think because some of them didn't have pickups, so we just did it purely acoustic.
Right.
Potentially, I can't remember. But
I think the winner here is this, isn't it? It's like, we wouldn't normally speaking, if a customer said to us, I need to buy a guitar amp for my acoustic guitar, we'd kind of discount this sort of thing, and we'd go straight for, little AERs or Roland AC60s, or, Bugera do a affordable kind of version of an AC60, all that kind of stuff. But then, of course, they're rubbish for electric guitar.
Unless you're playing jazz or something.
Yeah, so this is just amazing. I'm mad that this has been out for about 100 years and I've never plugged an acoustic guitar in one. But
I think it sounds great, and we're not. It's got 3 different reverbs, I think, is it?
Yep.
And we've chosen what I think it's like the equivalent of a plate or something. But
we've gone the orange mode for the acoustic, and then a green mode for the electric.
Yeah, and the EQ is good. It doesn't have a notch filter and stuff, but I mean, well, if we go for the Alvarez, that's got a notch filter built into the preamp.
All right. Well, look, so at the moment, then we think that the Alvarez is the front runner, but you're welcome to sort of revisit this. Shall we just go on to electric guitars?
Can do, yeah. Okay. I mean,
Yeah. Look, I don't want to rush you. It's your gig that you've got to get to.
Let me have a little pick on this one. I didn't do any picking, so. I'll take the Alvarez, please, Mr. Anderton.
Well, do you know what we haven't done? And again, just for continuity or whatever the word is, just little strum, and the audience can kind of hear it through the line out. The audience, you out there,
all right,
on YouTube land.
But it's still a really nice guitar.
Yeah. Okay, let's just literally final strum on the Alvarez for us to sort of just either reinforce what we were thinking. Yeah, I've turned it down. Or go, no, I like the Ibanez better. But I think my memory was I liked the Alvarez better. But I could be wrong.
I mean. Definitely this one, definitely.
I mean, I'm a sucker for the look as well. I would take that one for looks every day. But anyway,
my preference is nearly always for smaller guitars acoustically, and this is
brilliant.
Great.
Comes with a nice gig bag, so you're ready to go to your gig and at least do the acoustic set. But let's just see what we've got over here. 2 electric guitars. Again, the Squier Affinity Telecaster. I think the Affinity range from Squier has made it into almost every single rig for under £1,000 video so far in some form or another. This I have never seen in one of these shootouts though. This is the Epiphone Coronet. That does I can see really you've already decided that unless this just is rubbish, this is the one, isn't it?
Right, that's cool. That's really cool.
Well, we'll start with the telly.
Start with the Telecaster. It's a Telecaster.
I'm going to move over to mode 1, which is where we put the... we saved a sort of a medium, crunchy, clean kind of vibe for the electric guitar, and off we go.
Yeah, because I'm not much of a pedal guy, so I tend to use just an amp with a bit of dirt and then use the volume knob. Telecaster.
On its bridge pickup, it's so instantly recognisable as a Telecaster, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
and
great.
actually, stylistically, I can see for what you play, it could be a very, very great choice. And what is you can guarantee with the Telecaster design is if you're shopping at the more affordable end of the market, it's probably the simplest guitar design to make, and therefore likely to give you the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah.
You know, if you've only got 200 or 300 quid to spend, it's a safe bet to go with a Telecaster, right?
Yeah, and I can't remember who said it, but someone famous said if you can't do it on a Telecaster, it's probably not worth doing.
That's probably Pete Honore.
But it's true, man. I mean, it's the original, and it'll get you through any gig, pretty much.
Is it a coincidence that you've got two black guitars, or are you sort of harbouring some sort of inner Johnny Cash obsession?
I wanted something that was none more black.
None more black for your Metallica covers band. All right, well look. Honestly,
that's great.
That is a perfectly sensible choice.
It is.
But I feel like you want to make a less sensible choice.
I don't know about less sensible, but maybe more fun.
Yeah.
This thing, which I...
We don't even have to ask, do we? The sense of joy that I can see on your face as soon as you plug it in. So let's be as objective as possible.
Okay.
What's the downside then of one pickup over two, potentially?
I mean, the obvious thing is that those kind of classic neck pickup tones are less obtainable. I mean, you could do a lot with the tone control, which, I mean, I've not played this guitar a huge amount. I just saw it on the website, really. I was like, yeah, I would take this. But if I maybe turn the gain down a touch, is that gonna...
That's fine.
Yeah, so if we go for something, especially with the volume down, my tip, if you are going to use a single pickup guitar, you really got to work the volume and tone knobs, or have a lot of pedals. I can't afford a lot of pedals because someone crashed into my car, and so.
Them all, yeah.
But yeah,
he's going for some
I'll go for a bit of slide.
Yay.
So you can, if you turn it up and then turn the tone down for that kind of, where are we? Yeah, I'm just going to stop. No, I don't stop.
Some of the you can tell again. It's a shorter scale set neck guitar than the Telecaster. So all of that attempt to kind of get a little bit of a sort of a tremolo effect or vibrato effect from moving it is accentuated on that guitar, but in a way that you obviously really did.
Oh, I love it. The comment section hates it, but I...
the comment section last year going like, why do guitar players keep doing this? And it's like, because you do get this very slight sort of tremolo kind of vibrato kind of effect going on.
On something like this, which has got a glued in neck joint as well, you can get a big... I mean, whether you should or not.
We all do. And we're all literally waiting for that one day where it's just oh dear.
But so you can, I mean, that
shouldn't do that, by the way.
Yeah,
I've never seen it do that, but it's
I was going to say, I've seen people do it when they're doing it from the headstock.
Have you?
Well, like videos, but
maybe.
I mean, you've got to be going pretty hard.
Does anything about the fact that it's a wraparound tailpiece concern you? Because again, you have to accept that perhaps the intonation or something like that could never be quite so. It feels to me, if you're playing slide and rootsy old sort of music, guitars that are a little bit out of tune are just par for the course, aren't they? It's almost like that's how they all were back in the day, so it's even more authentic.
I mean, without getting into the maths of the equal temperament scale, it's never entirely in tune, so just bend it in.
Bend it in. There you go.
Live with it.
There's a tip from the pros there. Just bend it in.
Just bend it in. Press a little bit harder.
Oh man, I mean that's You know me, I'm always a sucker for something that looks a bit different.
That's the other thing. It is a bit like it's a bit of a head turner. Whereas a turn up for a Telecaster, no, but everyone's going, oh, what's that?
I do like the little E on the.
I think it's a cool design, man.
Yeah.
Like and it's so light. I'm really into lightweight guitars at the moment.
Well,
but for the electric sound for this as well.
I'm not. Again, I don't know what the DI output sounds like on here. I assume it's emulated to give us sort of a guitar amp sound, but why don't we have a little, again, we won't hear that, only you will hear that, but why don't you have a listen?
Yeah, sure.
And if it sounds fine, then you know that that's a usable option. And if it doesn't, personally, I always feel a bit sort of more at home if I just know the sound man's put a microphone in front of my electric guitar amplifier. But who knows? Let's have a little listen.
All right, so...
Well, would you like me to wrap it all up for you, sir?
I'll wear it now.
Excellent stuff. Well, yes, there you are. So one Boss Katana 50, one Epiphone Coronet, and one Alvarez with a very long model number that I can't remember.
Yep.
Roughly £1,000, and you are hot to trot.
Money well spent. That's a good rig.
I'm so bored of liking this amplifier. I'm so desperate for someone to make something else that we can all like, but it's just, yes.
I mean,
how many, 5, 6, 7 years now, something Katana 50's been out for like that. It's just like, why wouldn't you buy one of these? It's just a great little amplifier. But
does the job, doesn't it?
Thank you so much, Ben. It's lovely to see you.
And you, man.
And thank you guys for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. You might win something. And we shall see you in another video soon. Au revoir.
See you soon.